Hey, how's it going? So I actually have the pleasure of giving the last mini bit of this dumpster fire of a year we call 2020. My first two red bits were about emotions, rumination, feeling all your feels healthfully in life and in the workplace. And I started to think about how I've been feeling this year. It's felt like this. And some days have felt like this, starting off good, but most of the time I feel like this, kind of. And I know that you can all recognize some of these feelings too. We've talked about it in the first thing in meetings, checking in with each other, but all feeling that same collective blah. After wrapping up one hellish year, we're allowed to feel burnt out, right? But heading into a new year with circumstances not really changing yet anyway, how are we supposed to feel that refreshing newness associated with the start of a new year? How can we operate in this new normal? How can we still be creative in a pandemic? We're a creative agency, a place where we believe everyone is uniquely creative that literally sells ideas and creativity. So how do we do what we do best to the best of our ability when that creativity has felt like a daily struggle? Creativity is inherently about giving ourselves over to ideas, giving empathy for strategic reasoning, giving framework for processes, giving ourselves to do our due diligence, giving. But how do you keep giving when you feel like there isn't much left to give? Creativity depends on an openness to new ideas, freedom to explore, and finding purpose in your work. But all those qualities have started to disappear during the pandemic. So heading into this new year, let's flip the script on creativity and how we used to do things and what we used to think it means. Maybe it's about receiving new information and new dots, taking things in, refining your palette, and sharing your inspiration with your team. Maybe it'll spark something else. Give yourself permission to fill your creative well. You have to feed yourself creatively. You have to give yourself that creative fuel. And how you give that to yourself, that self-care is up to you. It could mean going to bed an hour earlier, making time to go on a walk in nature, or even just doing something fun. Feeling positive emotions actually draws us into a deeper state of creative flow. Find a totally unrelated creative outlet. Creativity can be anything: painting, cooking, singing, dancing, knitting, playing, photography, filmmaking, whittling, and much more. I took up embroidery and baking a lot of bread. I legit tried to bake sourdough popovers for a week straight, and Aaron barely reluctantly agreed to be my taste tester.
Very round.
It was quite the week for us. Any creative act, whether it is artistic or not, successful or not, will lead to a flood of dopamine, that feel-good chemical in your brain that will lead to a sense of happiness, accomplishment, and confidence. Maybe saying that you and I and we are creative is a myth. What if we are not creative? Creativity is not a gift given to us by the gods because they said so, but rather we have creativity within us. And imagine that creativity is a hidden muscle. When you visualize creativity like a muscle, burnout starts to seem like an injury. I haven't dried up my well of creativity. I've actually overworked my creative muscle. I forgot to stretch it. I repeated too many times the same movements, overdeveloping sections and weakening others. But the bright side is you can go stronger from an injury. And if creative burnout is just an energy, we can come back more creative from it. So looking into how to heal this energy, I came across a familiar remedy. The remedy lies in taking incremental and repetitive steps to get back to what matters most. One of the most effective techniques is completing a daily creative challenge. A creative challenge is a creative outburst you commit to ahead of time to be creative for a certain period of time for a determined length of time. Sound familiar? It's just like the 100 Days Project. Subtle plug for Aaron, who says it starts in February. And if that still feels like too much, take a 10-minute break for yourself and your creativity. Just during your day to recenter, refresh, and refocus. You'll be surprised at how much that can do for you. So research has shown that individuals have an even harder time thinking creatively under stress because it causes us to retreat to old habits. And that's not really great, huh? And to feel creative, you have to feel safe, respected, and be comfortable with failing. But most of us, myself included, the stakes have never been higher and the risks never greater. The pandemic has shown us how fragile our systems really are, which is a scary realization. So personally, I've been working hard to pivot my thinking away from fragility and reframing it to resilience and adaptability. So this chemistry that we have in our company zips through our phone lines and jumps out from our monitors. And I won't say it's the same as being in y'all's cutie presences, but instead I will say we underestimate our own resilience and we are infinitely adaptable. So all we've got is creativity, and all we've got is each other. And all we've got is asking each other to share the knowledge. And anything that this year has shown us more than most is that we're all in it together.